You know, my heritage and culture have always been at the core of defining who I am as I explore this mesmerizing world. I've always known that I come from an ancestry full of wisdom and with a deep and expansive history of art that cuts across powerful mediums. Hello, I'm John Quiñones of ABC News and host of the TV show What Would You Do? I'm a journalist by profession, Tejano by birth, and always a lover of art. And now I'm proud to share with you the following National Museum of Mexican Art presentation, introducing you to a very special institution, highlighting perspectives from its stewards and those who benefit from all that it offers. The museum is nestled in the heart of one of the country's finest cities, Chicago, the city where I began my career in television. It'll surprise you with its world-class accreditations and its unparalleled collection of both Mexican and Mexican-American art. The museum showcases treasures from all across Mexico, many of them by world-famous artists. The National Museum of Mexican Art has bestowed its gifts on art lovers for more than 25 years. It serves as a bridge between artists from Mexico and the U.S., and it also unites the people of neighboring countries who share culture, language, and of course, art in its truest forms. For children and young artists seeking a voice and an identity, the museum is a kind of comforting nest that helps answer the question, who am I? Today, more than ever, the museum needs the support of individual members, donors, corporations, and foundations. It's no secret that art is too often seen as less than critical, and the fact is, art is a vital vehicle through which we connect with the past, the present, and the future, thus creating an unbroken path that tells each of our stories. I hope that you'll enjoy learning all about the National Museum of Mexican Art and that we can count on your support to continue its important work and valuable contributions for many, many more generations. Muchas gracias.
The Mexican culture is amazing. There's 35 million of us in this country. So we have an important role to play in this country.
We don't see ourselves portrayed honestly in the media, or we're excluded from American history. We're often excluded in other museums or presented in a way that's vilified. So I think it's important to tell our own story and to have an institution where we can tell our own story to our community.
It's important to have a place where our culture, our history lives in a vibrant way. It's important to have a custodian of the Mexican experience in the United States.
This museum not only tells the history of Mexican culture, it has preserved some of the finest art of Mexico.
We have over 7,500 pieces in our collection, and they range from ancient pieces, Maya, Aztec, to pieces done by artists here in Pilsen. Our philosophy is we show the richness and beauty of the culture of Mexico from both sides of the border, from ancient times to the present.
All the other museums in Chicago are within the museum campus downtown, but we are the one that's right in the middle of the Pilsen, like the predominantly Mexican neighborhood. Its accessibility is really great.
I think the museum is a great place to bring visitors to the city. It is near downtown, it is free every day, and it's a really good overview of Mexican art from old to new.
I love that it's connecting also the Mexican artists and Mexican musicians and Mexican singers from Mexico and giving them a venue right here in the neighborhood. That's so important because so many people that live in this neighborhood couldn't afford to go downtown to some of those venues.
We're about changing the whole concept of what the museum is. The museum shouldn't be an elite institution. It should be for everybody. Rich, poor, everybody should be able to come and enjoy the arts. Arts are an essential part of the human experience. We're about young people, we're about families. 1/3 of our staff, 1/4 of our budget is spent on education. There isn't an art museum in the country as focused on education as we are.
Imagine the impact from a child who's never seen their culture in a textbook or portrayed accurately in a film or in the media, and then to come here and how at home you feel. So I think this is going to be important for those future writers and those future artists, those future musicians that come through these doors.
All of the kids are making like a little piece of art. When we're all finished, it's going to turn into a big piece because we're going to put everything together.
When I paint, I feel really happy because I feel like I'm already an artist and I don't need to dream about it.
I want them to know where they came from, because without knowing where you come from, you're never going to know where you're going. Your heritage gives you a solid confidence that there is nothing you can't do.
When you think about the National Museum of Mexican Art, quality, relevance, diversity, and accessibility, it's all wrapped into one. The way in which the museum is managed, responsible, fiscally sound, and responsive to donor needs and to board members' needs as well. Perfect combination.
As a Mexican American, being part of the Chase family and knowing that we are supporting the National Museum of Mexican Art makes me proud to be working here. I think other corporations would really benefit from investing within the National Museum of Mexican Art because it would really send a message of support, acceptance, and diversity.
This museum preserves so much of the Mexican culture. It really is one of the treasures of Chicago.
The National Museum of Mexican Art deserves to be mentioned in the same breath as the other great museums that Chicago has to offer.
Every experience you have there is a quality experience.
I would not be here, sitting here talking to you all, if it hadn't been for public institutions like the museums and like the library. We need art to nourish our heart. If we're afraid or if we're angry or if we're living through situations that are violent and destroying our spirit, art is a way of transforming that darkness and composting it into light.
This institution plays a vital role in the city of Chicago and across the country. And it's really an investment. It impacts so many people in so many ways. I think the National Museum of Mexican Art is a home for everybody to come, enjoy, experience, explore one of the world's most important cultures.
This is our message to the future. This museum is our cultural and artistic message to the future.